I'm joined today by incoming freshman offensive lineman Champ Westbrooks. Let's get right into it.
You are Locked On Sun Devils, your daily podcast on the Arizona State Sun Devils. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to the Locked On Sun Devils podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. My name is Richie Bradshaw, and I will be your guide for everything Arizona State Sun Devils. A shout out to my everydayers who are here every day, and thanks for making us your first listen of the day. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications wherever you're getting your shows. And you can stay in touch by following me on Twitter at RichieBrads36 and the podcast at LO_Sun Devils. Today, I am joined by a very special guest. Incoming freshman offensive lineman Champ Westbrooks will be joining me today. We got plenty of fun stuff to talk about, from his journey to ASU to getting to know him a little bit more. But Champ, thanks for joining me today, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and just start with your journey to ASU. So obviously the recruiting process had to be something that was really interesting for you. What all was that like as you went through that process?
It was a super dope experience. Coach Tuitele, he was there from the start when he was at Fresno State, and then rolling over into Arizona State and still keeping in touch and reaching out to me, checking up on me. And then when we got to the mega camp, Redlands, he liked what he saw, offered me, and then we planned out a visit on the spot, went out there. It was just lovely. I loved the culture and what they were trying to do out there. And I understood the situation of like all of their linemen being injured and not, having enough as to what we have right now. So I saw what we could do over there and how that would help me get to where I want to be at the next level. And, I just trust it.
Yeah, you bring up the injuries. Last year, ASU was just ravaged by injuries, especially across the offensive line. Coming to Arizona State, what did it say that ASU wanted to bring you in, knowing that there were so many injuries, that they saw you to be someone that, like, hey, we can build this foundation around Champ Westbrooks and have him become someone that's pivotal to the depth and potentially a starter or anything like that down the road?
It meant a lot that they, saw my potential and trusted that I was the right guy to, come in and help. So I love that, and that's what helped me commit. That's what helped making it even easier.
And speaking of commitment, beyond the football program, what all about Arizona State really sold you as this is going to be my home for the next 3, 4, 5 years, however long that you end up staying at Arizona State? What sold you?
It's lovely out there. Every time I've been, it's been better and better experience. I love how close it is, the community. I love what they do, what Arizona State does for the community. I love Tempe, Scottsdale, Phoenix. All of that is just a beautiful environment. And it's also very close to home. So it's nothing too crazy for my family to come see me or me, go back to them. So that's just all great experience.
What do you think of the weather?
I love it. I love that it's sunny every day. I can handle that. Heat doesn't bother me.
That's the saying that they got down here, is you can't shovel sunshine. As funny and what's the word? Not controversial. Anyways, just rhetoric over and over again. What about the football program was something that kind of sold you on that? Obviously, Coach Saga, like you said, was someone who had been recruiting you from Fresno State to Arizona State. What kind of helped you to decide on Arizona State instead of going to Fresno State or any of your other offers?
It was really Coach Tuitele has like a great resume. He's known for, helping O linemen and, making them the best that they can be. And that's what I want to be. The ultimate goal is to make it to the NFL. So if Coach Tuitele can help me do that, if Coach Dilly can help me do that. If the team can help me do that, then I want to help the team, and I want to be able to do that.
Coach Saga, clearly a lot of high praise. What are some of the things that he sold you on the program, or him selling you himself? What are some of the things that he told you, like, hey, we can work on this, or this is the situation that we can place you in to get you for the best amount of success?
From the first moment I met him, he was always teaching me. At the UCLA camp, I think that was the first time I met him. I was a guard. I was playing guard, and he moved me out to tackle and put me up against one of the best edges at the camp and helped me with my steps and all that. And I held my own. So that was an amazing experience. And then he invited me to the Fresno camp. I went out there. He helped me, and afterwards we talked. He said I was a raw athlete and that I had a lot more to learn too. So I was ready to learn from him. But also outside of the football aspect, he preaches a lot about family. I know that a lot of the team that he includes them in his family, and it's just something I want to be a part of.
What are you looking forward to the most coming to Arizona State? Whether it is Coach Saga or Coach Dillingham or the offensive system or anything like that. What is the one thing about the Sun Devils program that really excites you?
Going through the season, watching the offense, kind of having to adapt with all the other injuries around and all the fun stuff that they did. Maybe I'll catch a pass, a touchdown or two. But watching that was a lot of fun. Even if we didn't do, how we wanted to, we did enough with what we had. And I like seeing that. And then going back to it is beautiful. Like Scottsdale is a really nice place. And who knows, maybe I finish my career and I come back and retire there. It's just a great place to be.
Man, they sold you on it that good, huh?
Yeah.
It's I'm very biased. I grew up, born and raised out here in Arizona. I'm more on the west side. East Valley, though, tons of stuff to do. Obviously, that's where Tempe is. Like you said, Scottsdale's got a lot of stuff to offer. There's a lot of fun stuff out in the valley, as we like to call it. What are some of the things that excites you about the valley? You mentioned Scottsdale and the atmosphere of being out in the valley. Is there anything else that really stands out as like, man, I can't wait when I get out there in June, July, August to experience this?
The food. As a big guy, I can't wait to. I heard they have great Mexican and barbecue food, so yeah, I can't wait to get out there and taste all that.
Yeah, you can't beat the Mexican food. I know that when Kenny Dillingham decided that he was going to come back to Arizona State after spending some time at Oregon, he said the one place he was excited about was Ajo Al's, and I encourage you to go there. That is probably my favorite Mexican food place. They got a pollo con queso that is to die for. But yeah, the Mexican food in Arizona, it's as good as anywhere else in the country that you're going to find it. Looking at the academic side of things for Arizona State, what kind of sold you on that as well? Was there a certain program that really stood out to you? Is it the fact that they got a lot of stuff to offer, multiple campuses? What all from the academic side of things sold you on Arizona State?
Seeing the multiple campuses like that was very important. And then also I wanted to get into engineering, and they have one of the best engineering, like what's it called? Departments. Programs. There it is. So that was very interesting, and it was something I wanted to pursue.
Engineering. Good for you. I am not nearly smart enough for that. I got myself a liberal studies degree. I called it good, and then we made it work from there. But yeah, they got a really good engineering program. They got a little bit of everything to offer. Do you know where you're going to be spending a lot of your time? Is it going to be on the main campus, or are you going to be traveling all over the place?
I think it'll be on the main campus. I'm pretty sure.
That'll be nice. The good news is they have a really convenient shuttle system to get you all over the place, but I'm excited for you to come to Arizona State. Obviously, I'm very biased with that being my alumnus, and everything that I grew up with was Arizona State. But we're going to go ahead and translate into the second part of the podcast. Excuse me. We're going to talk about your off-season plan, what you're looking forward to training camp, and the regular season. Up next, this is the Locked On Sun Devils podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Passion, drive, and patience. The winning formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance, from superchargers to roof racks, exhaust kits, LED lights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And the eBay Guaranteed Fit means that your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. Wherever you get those podcasts, hit like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you get an update whenever we post new content. A shout out to my everydayers who are here every day. And thanks for making us your first listen of the day. Talking again with Champ Westbrooks, incoming freshman offensive lineman. Champ, let's start nice and simple. What does your offseason schedule look like before you come to Arizona State, or while you're at Arizona State, as you get ready for training camp? What's that look like for you?
Lots of conditioning. I've been told that if you want to succeed, you want to be conditioned, well conditioned. I've heard it from upperclassmen. I've heard it from coaches themselves, other coaches. A lot of them, the main thing is conditioning. So I've been doing that ever since I got out of school, got out of our team lifting. Just been trying to stay in shape, in the best shape that I could be, so that I can go out there and be ready when it comes to training camp.
What does some of that conditioning look like for you? Is it a lot of time in the gym? Is it a lot of working on like footwork and technique and stuff like that? What all is your big focuses?
The gym and speed work. Not necessarily like long distances, but like short shuttles, like just to get my breathing for, if I am in and we have 2 minutes, and I just got to be well conditioned for that. But also being in the gym and getting stronger, putting on that weight so that when I get there, I'm at the right position for them to put me in a better position for the season.
You said the upperclassmen were some of the people that had kind of given you that advice. Who all have you had a chance to talk with about getting into that performance?
One of the longer conversations I had were with Max. He really helped me out with that, just talking about like how it is out there, how to handle certain stuff. Leaf, I had a brief conversation with him. It was nice to talk to him, but just smaller conversations with also like the rest of the guys. Clem, he was a nice dude, but some of the guys who are already out there, incoming freshmen who left early, but it was just great that everybody's helping to reach out and like be in touch to help us get to where we need to be.
Is there any kind of workouts or trainings you're going to do with the offensive line group once everyone gets out there? Do you guys have like gym sessions prepped or anything specific that you'll be doing individually with the offensive line group?
I'm not too sure yet, but I know that they like to get work in after practice, so I'll definitely be doing that, especially coming in, being young, being new. I need all the work that I can get, so I'll be staying after with them, learning from them, just doing my best to, soak in as much knowledge as I can.
Love it. Once training camp rolls around, what are some of your goals specifically for you as Champ Westbrooks? What are your goals for training camp?
the next terrible. I mean that.
Oh, you broke up a little bit. What were your goals?
Sorry.
No, you're good. We got you
okay. My goals for the season, I want to be ultimately I want to start that, but I know how hard that is and how much work that is. So any amount of playing time that I can get, I want that. Travel team, first, second string, any of that, I want it. And I hope to be ready by then. And then overall, the team goals, bowl game, I want that. And with the new formatting of the playoffs, get in there. Beat Arizona, of course, get that cut back. But we also thinking big, making a big impact and showing the world and shocking the world, showing them what we can do.
Do you know where you're expecting to do a lot of your workouts? I know that you were recruited as a guard. You mentioned to me prior to this, but you also mentioned on the show as well that Coach Saga worked you out at offensive tackle as well. Do you know specifically where they're going to have you? I would assume you're probably going to be kind of a combo playing all over the place.
Yes. I think to start, they want me to tackle, but I also did play a bit of center in high school, so I can snap, and the coaches know that, so they talk to me about, like, if need be, I can move to that position, but I just want to be available everywhere so I can just step right in.
Perfect. So you can play all 5 spots. I know the answer is you can play both sides, but where are you more comfortable, left or right side?
As I've gone through high school, I stayed all on left side, so I would have to say left as of right now. Yeah.
And during your time in high school, did you get a lot of time at tackle as well, or most of your work was inside?
Most of my work was inside. It was guard and center. This season, our center went down for about 3 games, so I had to step up and play center for those 3 games leading into playoffs. And then throughout all of my high school career, I've got a little work at center, snapping, stepping in when, small injuries like an ankle injury took our center out my junior year for a few plays. So just coming in and doing that, it's all been inside.
What's that mindset look like for you to be able to move from tackle and even in all the way inside the center? What's that mindset that you have to place on yourself?
Don't mess up. But yeah, but especially for center, I try not to stay in my head because I'm the key to the offense. I have to get the ball perfectly back to the quarterback. So I have to be calm and cool and collected. I also have to be smart and know what's coming. I'm looking up. I'm seeing what linebacker is thinking about blitzing or where he's at, what distance he's at. Just trying to make the calls, trying to help everybody out.
As we get closer and closer, where do you want to focus on the most for improving your game? Is it going to be a lot more of like a technical side of things? Is there going to be a lot of strength training for you? I'm sure it'll be balanced, but where would you like to see yourself improve the most?
I'm not worried about the strength side of it. I may not be the strongest, but I trust in our strength and conditioning coaches to get me to where I want to be strength wise, technicality wise. Like that's where I want to focus the most. I want to be the best technical offensive lineman, so that I'm protecting our quarterback and I'm not getting beat.
Perfect. All right. We're going to go ahead and wrap up this part of the podcast. We're going to head into the final part, and we're just going to get to know who Champ Westbrooks is. We'll hop into that in just a moment. This is the Locked On Sun Devils podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. One more time, thank you guys for tuning in and making us your first listen of the day. And a shout out to my everydayers who are here every day. Champ Westbrooks is joining us. We are rounding out this edition of the podcast. We just want to get to know you a little bit, Champ. We know your recruiting profile. We've gotten to talk to you about your strengths, where you're going to improve, what brought you to Arizona State, but we just want to get to know who you are as a person. Let's go ahead and start with your game, the way you play yourself, the way you carry yourself. Who have you kind of modeled your game after? Who are some of the guys, whether it's college or pro, current players, past players, who has kind of inspired the way that you play the position?
I don't want to be like that guy, but Trent Williams, he's a big part. I've been watching him a lot. He's physical, and he's just the best, like the best in the game. But also Penei Sewell, he's very technical. He's elite, and I want to be on that level of elite. It's just insane what these guys do. So I model my game after those two most likely.
Who would you say are some of your favorite players, whether it is along the offensive line or just in general? If you have a favorite NFL player, someone that you just absolutely love, you go on YouTube and you pull up like a 15-minute highlight reel of them. Who are some of those guys?
Growing up, I was always a defensive guy. So J.J. Watt, Aaron Donald, those two. I wanted to be like J.J. Watt. I wanted to wear number 99, be a D end, but and then watching Aaron Donald be like as small as he is, but also a monster, like having to be doubled and tripled every time, just crazy to watch. But not on the line would probably be right now, probably Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey. I also love Gronk. Gronk is my favorite tight end ever. So I'm glad he played for my team, the Buccaneers, for that.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, those guys.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, huh? Where'd that fandom come from?
Actually, it came from my dad. So, a short story: his whole family loves the Dallas Cowboys, and that was around the time that they were like super good and stuff. So then, when he was coming up, he was also a defensive guy. He loved defense, so that Tampa Bay defense and the creamsicle jerseys really got him on board. So he loved the team, and then growing up, I followed suit.
Just pass that down to you.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, interesting. You said you wanted to play defense, but switched to offense. What inspired that change for you?
It actually wasn't my decision. When I got to my freshman year, when I got to Loyola, my freshman year, I was on the defense side of the ball majority. I played middle linebacker, and then near the end got into D-line. But then I thought I was going to play D-line the rest of my career, but our varsity, we didn't have enough depth. So a big guy like me, they needed to put me on the line. So I had to, quickly adapt. I did play a little bit of O-line, but never like fully. So I had to adapt to it. And then from there on, it just stuck.
Did you fall in love with the position?
I did.
There you go. You still get to be super physical at least. So at least you didn't lose that part of it. Not like they moved you from defensive line to like wide receiver or something. Right. You still get a chance to dominate those trenches.
Yeah.
Looking at just kind of a personal off the field, any video games you like to play? Are you a big Madden guy or like a first person shooter or anything like that?
I'm pretty basic. I'm a big Madden and Call of Duty guy. Call of Duty was actually the first game I played, Black Ops 3 with my dad. So that was a lot of fun. I just recently got into FIFA. So, anybody who needs that work, I'll cook them. Yeah. Yeah, just like sports games, first person shooters games. Uncharted. I like a bit of a story game too.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Who are your teams when you play FIFA, when you play Madden? Who do you play?
I don't know too much about soccer, but I like Barcelona, Man City, sometimes Real Madrid, just switch it up a little bit.
There you go.
And then for Madden, the Bucks, Yeah, the Chiefs and the Ravens, but I also do a lot of random, so I could use any team.
I'm a big Baltimore Ravens guy, so love to hear that. About your Buccaneers, are you a big Baker Mayfield guy? I've really bought into him. Are you excited, or are you kind of like, we'll see if 2024 is a real deal?
I'm super excited. I'm
Yeah.
all the way bought in. I love the connection between him and Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. I love our squad. I love Baker. Yeah, I'm bought in completely.
You guys are winning the division this year too?
Oh yeah, nobody's touching us.
No. I tried that thing the other day where like you can predict all the games, and every single time I do like the NFC South, I'm like, I don't like anyone except Tampa. Like, I've always had this weird thing for Tampa Bay where like I just really like them and feel like they're just better than a lot of people think. So unsurprisingly, I had them win the division, but for whatever reason, I just really like Tampa. It's one of those teams where besides my Baltimore Ravens, I can root for Tampa Bay as long as they're not playing the Ravens. When you are playing Madden and you play defense, you play defensive line, you play linebacker, what do you use her?
Middle linebacker or sometimes safety, but I don't like defensive line users. They send the blitz, and then they cook my O line, and I'm not there to use her to block them, so I gotta be with a mobile quarterback and get out of there or get the ball out quick. But me personally, I like to use either the middle linebacker, the Mike, or the safety.
How good are you at Madden? Are you like a casual player, or like you could take on Coach Dillingham, who claims that he is one of the best Madden players ever?
I think I could take on Coach.
Okay.
I'm not bad at all, so I think I could take on Coach. I'm ready.
I'm really good on rookie mode, personally. I am not very good at video games. Movies. I gotta know sports movies. All-time favorite sport movie.
Ooh. Remember the Titans.
That's the best answer.
Yeah.
That is my answer too.
Yep. Love that movie. I've watched it so many times. It's undeniably the greatest sports movie I've probably ever seen.
Well, and it touches on so many different things too, not just football. It covers race and just building relationships and everything. It's a very good movie. So, great answer. So far, we're striking a chord pretty well, Champ, I must say. 2 more questions for you, and they're both greatest of all time questions.
Okay.
NFL, who's the greatest quarterback?
Tom Brady. Undeniably. But I do think Patrick Mahomes is starting to make a case starting to get up there, and if he keeps going how he's moving, he might take over.
Wouldn't be a surprise. He is certainly just playing out of his mind right now.
Yeah.
And of course, we have to end it with perhaps the most controversial question in all of sports. Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
I got to go Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah. And even though I'm an LA guy at Lakers, I have to. It's just how people talk about Michael Jordan and like what he's done, 6-0 in the finals. It was just, he's different. I can't have LeBron. I don't know. I'd rather take Michael Jordan.
You know what? We're going to do a quick audible if you don't mind. Top 5 NBA players. I'm curious who you would have.
Okay. Ooh.
In no order.
No order? Okay.
No order.
So I'm going Michael Jordan. LeBron has to be in the top 5. He may not be the greatest, but he's in there.
Putting you on the spot.
Yeah. I'd probably say I'd have to put Kobe.
Of course.
Yeah, need to. And then this is where it gets tricky. The top 3 is like they're there cemented, but the next 2, I might have to go.
I stumped you.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, Shaq.
Okay.
Center. Nobody could stop him. And then Number 5. Maybe Kareem.
Okay.
Maybe. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of anybody else.
That's okay. We'll have to give you a little bit more time instead of placing you right on the spot. But Champ, I really, really appreciate you tuning in. Before we wrap this bad boy up, is there anything that you would like to promote for yourself? Anything that you're doing, or anything that you just want to give a shout out to?
I would love to shout out my parents. Rashad Westbrooks and Chanel Westbrooks. They've been here the whole time. They've been helping me, on both the academic and the, sports athletic standpoint of my life. It's just, they've been great. So I shout out to them, my family, my friends, all of them. I just got back from lunch with my boy Jack Chittick and my boy Mark Kwok. So that was a dope experience. Their first time having Chili's. So, shout out to everybody, really. I thank God that I'm here for the experience and the blessings that I have. So this is just awesome. So shout out to everybody.
Appreciate you, Champ. Certainly one of the most fun interviews I've had. Maybe a little bit biased because we've been teeing this one up for a little bit, but I appreciate you for hopping on with us. And hopefully this won't be the last time that you hop on the show.
Oh, definitely not. I'll be back.
Awesome. Champ, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, getting to meet Champ Westbrooks. He will be back again. We'll be rooting for him extra hard. I'm not going to lie. I might have to be a little bit biased. I definitely have some favorites, and more often than not, it's the guys who give me the time of day for me to get to know them. But Champ Westbrooks joining us. We will see you guys next time. And until then, you keep it locked right here on Locked On Sun.